Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Sunday Tea. I'm your host, Danielle Lee. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. I would like to set the intention that when these messages find you, they will help you along your healing journey and they will reach you at a time when you need them and help to guide you. And today I want to speak about forgiveness. Should we forgive our past? Should we forgive people who have wronged us in our past? And I briefly touched on this in episode 2 or 3. And I just felt the need to elaborate some more as I feel forgiveness is a very loaded word. And it is, I feel, dependent on the situation that we are trying to forgive. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself during this conversation, because I am a believer in forgiveness and I believe in forgiving for the sake of ourselves and not carrying that burden throughout our lives in a way that's going to hold us back from moving forward. But in the same, not the same breath, but I also came to the realization that there are some things that I don't think can be forgiven. And I will just give an example. I myself have carried a heavy weight throughout my lifetime of feeling as though I have to forgive somebody from my past that I have struggled to forgive. And the pressure itself of having to forgive and the thought of having to forgive this person became so heavy that it wasn't allowing me to move on from the situation. And recently I've been documenting my dreams because they've been wild, and I've been journaling them when I wake up, like just trying to record as much of my dreams as I can remember. And about a week and a half ago, I had a dream of said person, and they said to me, "I've been with you every day. I know everything you do, and I know everywhere you go." And I woke up from that dream terrified, like I was in a panic. And at first, I didn't want to write the dream down because I thought I don't want that in my journal. But as I went through the day, I decided, no, this is coming up for a reason. It's coming up for me to address it. And so I started to write the dream down in my journal because I could still remember it quite vividly. And it wasn't until a while after, I'm not very good at interpreting the dreams that I have, but with this particular dream, it was almost like a light bulb moment that went off, and it said, it's absolutely true. They have been with me every day and following me through everything that I do. And at that moment, I recalled a conversation that I had with my therapist last year. And she said to me, you don't have to forgive it. And at the time, I felt a bit confused because I thought, well, if I don't forgive it, how am I ever going to move on? And the pressure has been so strong that it's actually been holding me back. And after that dream and coming to that realization, I'm not picking my nose, by the way, I said to myself, I don't want to forgive them. I can't forgive them, and I won't forgive them. And when I admitted that and accepted that, it felt like a huge weight had been lifted off of me. And I have really tried my best to let this go. And I've tried to, do different things that might allow me to move on from the situation. And as much as I may have felt like I've moved on from the situation, I hadn't moved on from the situation, because that cloud is still following me throughout my life since childhood. And I said that same day I had the dream, I'm actually going to write a letter. And I'm going to write a letter and burn it. And that's exactly what I did. So I wrote a letter. It was nasty. It was hateful. It was full of anger. And you know what? It felt so satisfying to get all of that out on paper and feel no desire to forgive that person. I accepted in that moment, I am not going to forgive it, and I never will forgive it. So going back to, and I actually burnt it as well. I burnt it to ashes. And it felt so good. And in that moment, it was as though I have reclaimed my power over that situation. And so it took me back to thinking of the past episode where I was speaking about forgiveness. And you know what? We can't forgive everything in life. And I don't think it's fair that we should carry the burden of having to forgive somebody that's harmed us in a way that has changed our lives. And whilst there are lessons to be learned from it, and whilst those lessons can produce something good out of them, we shouldn't be carrying that burden of forgiving somebody who hasn't even shown any remorse for their actions. And I just really wanted to say that there's this whole, I don't know what the word is, but there is this whole thing about forgiving, forgiving the past, forgiving people who hurt us, forgiving people who harmed us. And I think it's bullshit. If you can forgive them, then do. We all make mistakes. We are all human. And I do believe everybody deserves a chance to be to be forgiven. But as I said, if the situation we are trying to forgive and the people or person we are trying to forgive haven't shown any changes in their behavior, they haven't shown any remorse, you've not even had the decency to receive an apology in any way, shape or form, then the responsibility isn't on us to forgive them. And it's not forgiveness, it's just such a heavy word. What we should be doing is finding closure. And that's exactly what I found that day after the dream. All of these years, I've been putting this pressure on myself. Forgive, you have to forgive. You're not going to move on. You're never going to be free if you don't forgive. Fuck forgiving. No, I needed to find closure. My own form of closure. And admitting to myself I will not forgive. That was my closure. Because I no longer have to worry about forgiving somebody who doesn't deserve forgiveness. And that's really all I want to say. Stand in your power, and you know what? We don't have to follow what society tells us we should do. Yeah, okay, it might be politically correct to forgive, but if it doesn't feel right to you, then You don't have to forgive anybody. Don't walk around like, carrying it to the point that it's making you hateful and bitter and angry. Find a way to let go of the situation in a way that feels right to you. If that means, just finding closure in some way, or I don't know, it's something you would have to explore yourself, but don't feel pressured into, having to forgive anybody. And I decided that one thing is something that I don't want to forgive. And in deciding that, I have reclaimed my power. So make the decision that works best for you. Reclaim your power, because you are a powerful being. Don't let anybody take that power away from you. Remember who you are. Remember what you're capable of. And I hope this message reaches you and gives you inspiration and strength to move through your life according to what's right for you. And thank you for being here. It was a short message for once, and I hope it truly helps you in a way that can allow you to move forward with your life and continue to heal and grow and live the life that you deserve. So I will be back next week with episode 7, and take care. It will be a brand new year, and let's set the intention that we mean to start 2026 as we mean to go on. Bye.